So good morning students. This is lecture 2 of this chapter relation. Now in first lecture of chapter relation we have discussed the meaning of relation. Now in this lecture 2, we are going to discuss equivalence relation. Now this topic is very important for board examination. Definitely question will be asked from this topic only. So let's start equivalence relation. So what is the meaning of equivalence relation? So first I will write the definition and then with the help of example I will explain what is equivalence relation. So first write the definition. What is the meaning of equivalence relation? So let R be a relation on set A. Let R be a relation on set A such that it is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Let R be a relation on set A such that it is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Then this relation R is called equivalence relation. Equivalence relation. So this is the definition of equivalence relation. The relation, let R be a relation on set A. So let us explain all the terms involved in this definition. So R be a relation on set A. So first of all know the meaning of. So we will explain all the terms involved in this definition. R be a relation on set A. On set A. So what is the meaning of on set A? R be a relation on set A. What is the meaning of on set A? See, on set A means R is a relation which relates element of set A with element of same set A. For example, this is set A, this is set A, and this is also set A, and R is a relation which relates element of set A with the element of set A itself. So then this relation R is called relation on set A. This is the meaning of relation on set A. Have you got the meaning of on set A? R is a relation which relates element of set A with the element of set A itself. Then this relation is called relation on set A. So first of all, equivalence relation is a relation on set A. It means it is a relation which relates element of set A with element of set A itself. Then such that it is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Simultaneously this relation is reflexive, this relation is symmetric, and this relation is transitive. So if this relation satisfies all these three relations, then we can say that R is equivalence relation. So now we will discuss what is the meaning of reflexivity, what is the meaning of symmetricity, and what is the meaning of transitivity. Because if any relation is equivalence, then simultaneously it will be reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Or we can say that any relation which is reflexive as well as symmetric as well as transitive is called equivalence relation. So now we are going to discuss the meaning of reflexivity, symmetricity and transitivity. So one by one we will discuss. So let us discuss the meaning of reflexivity, reflexive relation. Reflexive relation. What is the meaning of reflexive relation? What is the meaning of reflexive relation? So a relation R, on set A is called reflexive if it relates each element of set A with itself that is with same element. So this is the literal definition of relation. The relation R on set A is called reflexive if it relates each element of set A with itself. Means what? With the same element. So here each is important, each element. Now, so mathematically how can we define? Mathematically we can write if A comma A belongs to R, it means A is related with A itself. What is the meaning of this symbol? A comma A belongs to R means what? What is its literal meaning? A is related to A. That means each element is related to same element. A comma A belongs to R for all A belongs to set A. So this is the mathematical definition of reflexive relation. If a relation R is called reflexive if it relates element A with the same element A. Or we can say, so in ray diagram form, we can say that if this is set A, this is set A. Now let the element of set A be A, B, C, and its element is A, B, C. So this relation will be reflexive if A relates with A, B related with B, and C related with C. That means each element should be related with itself. Now A may be related with any other element also, but it is a condition that A must be related with itself. A may be related with any other element also, clear? But necessary condition is what? Each element should be related with itself, clear? Now if I will relate A with B, then also it is called reflexive relation. The necessary condition is each element must be related with itself. It may be related with any other element also. That is not the problem. But the condition is each element must be related with itself. So this is the meaning of reflexive relation. Now let us take one example. Then it will be clear. If I will say that, let us take one relation. R equal to suppose A is a set 1, 2, 3, and R is a relation such that 1 is related to 1, 2 is related to 2, 3 is related to 3, 1 is related to 2, this one. So in this set we have taken one relation, this one, in roster form. So here we can say that each element of set A is related with itself. 1 is related to 1, 2 is related to 2, 3 is related to 3. Clear? So this is the necessary condition for reflexivity. Now 1 may be related to other element also. Clear? But the condition, the necessary condition is that each element should be related with itself. So this must be there. Each element, not one element, each element of set A must be related with itself. Then it is called reflexive relation. If I will omit this one, then this relation will not be reflexive relation. Why? Because 1 is related with 1 itself, correct? 2 is related with 2, it is correct. But 3 is not related with 3. And what we have written? Each element of set A must be related with itself. Then it is called reflexive relation. So for this relation to be reflexive, the necessary condition is this must be there, and 3, 3 must be there. That means 3 must be related to 3. Now this element may be related with any other element, that is another thing, but the necessary condition is each element should be related with itself. Now let us take another example. Suppose R is a relation such that X is related to Y. What does it mean? X is related to Y such that X belongs to integer, Y belongs to integer, and X minus Y is an even number. This is the relation between X and Y. So first of all, see what is written here. Let the literal meaning of this relation. See, X comma Y, ordered to X comma Y means what? This element X is related to Y. Clear? And when X is related to Y, under what condition X is related to Y? Here it is written, X minus Y is even number. It means if X minus Y is even number, then we can say that X is related to Y. According to this rule, if X minus Y is even number, then we can say that X is related to Y. And X is also integer and Y is also integer. So now we have to decide whether this relation is reflexive or not. So practically we can check. Suppose we are taking any integer 1. Suppose we are taking any integer 1. So if 1 is related with 1, clear? Then it will be reflexive. So if I will put X is equal to 1 and Y equal to also 1, so 1 minus 1 will be 0. For example, let X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to also 1. Then X minus Y, it will be 1 minus 1, that is 0, and 0 is even number. We know that 0 is even number. So here 1 minus 1 is 0, that is even number. So we can say that 1 comma 1 belongs to R. That means 1 is related to 1. So similarly, each integer, here set is integer, here the set A is what? Integer. So each integer must be related with itself. So similarly we can check another integer also. Suppose I will take integer 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0, that is even number. So 2 is also related with 2. 3 is also related with 3. So in this way we can say that each integer is related with itself, and that's why this relation is reflexive relation. So this is the meaning of reflexive relation. Have you got the meaning of reflexive relation? Now question arises that how can we check the reflexivity of relation? So one method is very easy. If relation is given in roster form, then easily by observation we can say that it is reflexive or not. For example, this relation here, set is 1, 2, 3. It means 1 must be related to 1, 2 must be related to 2, and 3 must be related to 3. So here in this relation, directly by observation we can say that this is reflexive relation. Now problem arises when relation is given in roster form, in set builder form. If this type of relation is given to you, then we have to decide very carefully whether it is reflexive or not. See, if we have to prove that this is not reflexive relation, then it is very easy. If you are able to show any one example which does not satisfy this relation, then we can say that it is not reflexive. But if we have to prove that this is reflexive, then by one example we cannot say that it is reflexive. Understood what I am trying to say? If relation is given in set builder form and you have to prove it is not a reflexive relation. So if we have to prove that it is not a reflexive relation, then it is easy. Take one example, clear, and show that it does not satisfy the condition of reflexivity. Then directly we can say that it is not reflexive. If any one example does not satisfy the condition of reflexivity, what is the condition of reflexivity? Each element should be related with itself, same element. So if any one example you will give in which any element is not related to with itself, then immediately you can say that this given relation is not reflexive. But if you have to prove that relation is reflexive, you have to prove that given relation is reflexive. So with the help of one example, you cannot claim that it is reflexive. So you should try to prove in general way. For example, here I have given one example only. So with the help of one example only, we cannot say that it is a reflexive relation. Clear? So what is the better way? Better way is prove it in generalized way. So how do you prove reflexivity in generalized way? So let me rub this one. So suppose we have to prove reflexivity in generalized way. Clear? So proving, note down this one, this is not given in your book, proving reflexivity in generalized way. Generalized way. How do you prove the reflexivity in generalized way? See, for reflexivity, clear, take any one element of given set. Suppose A is the given set. Each relation will be given in any set. With the relation, definitely one set will be associated. For each relation there will be a set. So suppose A is given set. Clear? In the question A is given set. Now and R is the relation. R is the given relation. Now you have to prove that this relation is reflexive in general way. So what you have to do, take any arbitrary element of set A. Let A belongs to set A be an arbitrary element. Now put this A in the given relation. Clear? Now let A belongs to A be any arbitrary element. Now take X is equal to A and Y is also equal to A and put it in given relation. If the given relation is true, if the given relation is true, then you can claim that R is reflexive. R is reflexive. So this is the general way to prove for proving reflexivity. Again I am repeating, if relation is given in roster form, then it is very easy. By observation only you can say that given relation is reflexive or not. But if relation is given in set builder form, and if you have to prove that it is a reflexive relation, then with the help of one example you cannot claim that it is a reflexive relation. So in that case you should prove in general way, and to prove general way, again I am repeating, what you have to do, take any arbitrary element from the given set. Now since we have to check whether A is related to A or not, for reflexivity what is the condition? This element A must be related with itself. So let x is equal to also A and y is also A, and put this x and value of x equal to A and y equal to A in the given relation. After putting these two values, if the relation is true, then you can claim that R is reflexive relation. And after that, if you want, if you wish, you can give one example to strengthen your statement. Now if you have to prove that it is not a reflexive relation, so for proving not a reflexive relation, one example is sufficient. If you are able to give one example which does not satisfy the condition of reflexivity, then immediately you can say that given relation is not reflexive. Now let us take one example. Suppose R is a relation in which x is related to y such that x is integer, y is integer, and x minus y is an even number. Now here the given set is set of integer. Clear? So you can say that A is given what? Set of integer. And what is the relation? X and x minus y. What is the relation? X is related to y if x minus y is an even integer. So if we have to prove that it is reflexive or not, what we can do? Let A belongs to Z. Take one element in the given set. Let A belongs to Z. Be an arbitrary element. Now here we have, for reflexivity, what is the condition? A must be related with itself. That means x is also A and y also must be A. So let x is equal to A and y is equal to also A. Now put this value in the given statement, given relation. So given relation is x minus y is an even number. So A minus A is an even number. So this implies 0 is an even number. Now check whether this statement is true or false. So 0 is an even number. Of course it is true statement. It is true statement. It means A is related with A. So now you can claim that A comma A belongs to R. It means A is related with A. Now you can claim that R is reflexive relation. Now after that it is your choice if you want to give one example to strengthen your statement. Clear? Then you can give one example. So this is the proper way to prove reflexivity. I think you have got the meaning of reflexivity and how it is proved. Now moving towards symmetricity. So let me check the time. Okay. So enough time is I have taken. So in the next lecture I will discuss symmetricity and transitivity. Thank you.